The learning objectives of this session are to define the helping relationship, to characterize the helping relationship, to give the stages of helping relationships, and to solve a case study by using appropriate steps of counseling. Now, what are the characteristics of helping relationships? What exactly is helping relationship? In the stages of counseling, if you remember, the first step in the counseling process is building relationship or building a healthy relationship. Now, what is a healthy relationship? Basically, healthy relationship is where the counselor has to develop a good relationship between the counselor and the counselee. The counselee should develop trust in the counselor, and he must be pretty assured that his confidentiality will not be broken down. So, what are the characteristics of these helping relationships? The first one is that the helping relationships are a constant process, or it runs throughout the therapeutic process. Once the relationship is established at the initial meeting, it will continue till the closure of the counseling session. So, this is one of the very important characteristic here. The whole helping relationship should be visualized as a process through the developmental perspective. So, what is the developmental perspective here? That initially it is a narrow relationship, and slowly the relationship would develop and it would flourish into a healthy relationship wherein the counselor motivates, empowers, strengthens the counselee to develop as an individual. He must address his own problems, and he must be able or he must be capable enough to resolve his own issues. So, this means that the counseling is not actually advising, but counseling is basically seen as a process wherein you empower, wherein you motivate the client to develop or grow to resolve his own issues. Now, different eminent psychologists have given different stages of counseling. Let us see them one by one, and then ultimately we have consolidated and boiled down this whole process of counseling into 5 important stages, which we will see at the end. So, at the very outset, first one is Osipov, Walsh and Tosi in 1980 have given this particular model or stages of counseling. In that, we have 5 stages. The first one is increased awareness of self and others. So, basically, the counseling, in this process, the counselor develops or he probes the counselee in such a manner wherein he develops self-awareness. So, he becomes aware of his own capabilities, his interest, his problems, and also at the same time he is aware of others. The second important step here is expanded exploration of self and environment. So, that is, here the counselor will probe the counselee to explore into his problems. He will actually assess his problem and find out in detail what exactly the problem is. He will also explore the environment around himself. The third stage given by them is increased commitment to self-enhancing behavior. That is, he motivates the counselee to find out self-motivated behavior. That is, the counselee has to actually find out ways and means. What the counselor can do is give him number of alternatives, and the counselee will have to choose among those particular alternatives what will be the best suited alternative for him. But again and again, friends, I am telling you that the role of the counselor is not to advise. We cannot tell the counselee that this is best suited for you. We have to always tell him that what are the different ways in which you can solve this problem, what are the different alternatives that you have in your hand. You have to ask him what are the pros and cons of every alternative. So, what do you think would be the best alternative where you could work? So, friends, what we have to realize here is we cannot guide, we cannot lead the counselee. Rather, the person himself has to find his own way. We can only help him find his own path. The fourth stage is internalization of new thoughts and actions. So, if sometimes what happens, the counselee has got very limited view and so the counselee will be able to see just 2 or 3 alternatives. At such times, it is the role of the counselor or the work of the counselor to give more alternatives or to show him some new perspective from which the problem can be solved. And lastly, the fifth stage is stabilization of the new behavior. So if the counselee has realized that what would be a new behavior or what can help him solve this problem, then this particular aspect or this particular habit or behavior has to be stabilized now. So these are the 5 stages which were given by these psychologists, but this was in 1980. After that, number of other psychologists also gave some different stages of counseling. After him in 1985, we have Brammer, and Brammer has given 2 major phases of counseling. So although in the previous we have seen 5 stages, but now here there are just 2 major phases. The first one is building relationship, and the second one is facilitating positive action. Now what all is there in building relationship? So there are few important points which are given here. Clarifying the process, that is what would be the process of counseling. Then structuring what are the line of action, so you're going to structure that beforehand, and building a steady and good healthy relationship with the counselee. These are some of the important things that are supposed to be done in this first phase. The second one is facilitating positive action. So the first part majorly is about planning, and it is also related to building a good relationship. After that is about facilitating positive action or getting the counselee into action. So here we have more of exploration as discussed earlier. That is, we are going to ask the counselee to explore more alternatives. The counselee will have to think over what best solutions or what best alternatives are available to solve his problem. Then consolidation. So herein you will try and consolidate few alternatives which are going to be useful. Then there is a bit of planning with regards to the line of action or the therapy. And lastly, termination. As we have seen earlier in the counseling process, that the termination process is one important factor. Many a times the counselee and the counselor both are reluctant about terminating this relationship. Sometimes there is dependency, and see, after all we are all human beings. So what happens is, once you gel together with those people, we do not want to break this relationship. But friends, have again and again I'm telling you that this relationship or the counseling process or the counselor, he has to have a switch on switch off system, you know. So once you sit on the chair, you have to have that switch on, then you resolve the problem, and after that switch off is a very important thing for counselors. Initially when you get into counseling, what happens is you get so driven away by the client or with the counselee that once you go home, you're continuously thinking and pondering over the problem of the counselee. So that is not done. To be a good counselor, we need to have switch on and switch off system. So once we are done with this, we have to terminate that. You can always be good friends, you can have informal relationship, but this professional relationship has to be formally terminated. After this, there were another model which was given by Perky and Skimmett in 1987. So here he has given 3 different stages of the counseling process and building this helping relationship. So here the 3 stages are preparation, initiating, responding, and follow up. In preparation, we have desire for developing a good relationship, preparing the setting, that is how we are going to go about this counseling process, and reading the situation, that is to have an overview of the whole problem of the client and to read the whole situation. This is the basic preparation stage of counseling. Then you have the second stage, that is initiating, responding. Now here the counselor is responding to the problems of the counselee. So here it is very important that he chooses caringly. That is, however we are going to respond to this counselee, we have to be very careful in choosing our communication, our language, our words, even our body language. So this we are going to study in the basic skills of counseling, but it is important that the counselor has to choose all his responses very, very carefully, and he has to have that caring or nurturing attitude towards the counselee. Then you have acting appropriately. That is, whenever you are into this counseling process, the counselor has to always be cautious and careful to behave in an appropriate manner. And honoring the client, it is very important for us whether we care, whether we go or we are against the counselor's views, but we have to always honor his opinion. The next or the last stage is follow up. That is where the counselor interprets the responses. He also has some negotiation positions. He evaluates the whole counseling process, and ultimately he develops the whole trust of the counselee. So these are some important stages which are given by Perky and Schmidt. Then you have number of other models that have been given by Egan in 2002. Then we have Hackney and Cormier in 1996, Haverson and Myers in 2005, Gladding in 2009, Corey and Corey in 2011. Now, although number of models have been given with regards to stages of counseling, we have ultimately consolidated this whole counseling process and the different stages given by people into this next model. So these are the ultimate stages of helping relationships that we must consider. The first stage is relationship development, which we have already discussed, how we have to develop a good relationship between the counselor and the counselee. Second important stage is extended exploration. So extended exploration is basically nothing but exploring the problem or problem assessment. This is what we call. After that we have problem resolution, and lastly termination or follow up. So although I told 5 stages, but we can consider it as termination and follow up can be together considered as one stage, or we have termination and then we give follow up. So these are major steps what we have to keep in mind. The termination process, as discussed earlier, is a very important part of the helping relationships.